As God created man, God created every race with their own peculiarities. They have their own way of life. They have their own language. They have their own. The environment has given them what they should enjoy from nature. So every race, every group of people, every tribe, they have those endowments from nature. So we are Bakosi people, and Bakosi people equally have those endowments that every other tribe has. We have our language, and we have our own way of doing things. That is what we talk of culture and tradition. Our own special ways of doing things, special ways of celebrating birth, special ways of celebrating marriages, special ways of community life, special ways of preparing our delicacies, and so on. That is what makes us Bakosi people. Yes. So it is important for us as Bakosi people to promote and maintain that culture, because that is what God created us to be. If we speak English language today, it is because we learned it in school. But the Bakosi language, we were born with it. And nobody can say that this is the person who created that language. That language came from nature. It came from God. Just like a Douala man, just like a German, just like a Japanese, they had it from nature. Nobody created language. Language just came. Language just came as a means of expression.
Yeah.
And every group of people had a common way, their own common way of expressing themselves. That's how language came. And that's why in the whole world, you can only hear that this language has influenced this one. Some words will jump or expressions will jump from this language to this one. But the original language itself came from nature. Yeah. There is nobody who can ascribe that I discovered the English language or I invented the German language. Nobody. So there's nobody who can say that I grafted the Bakosi language. It came from nature. So that is what God created us to be. Just like we are black men, it is by nature. So it is immoral for anybody created black to want to be white.
Yeah. I love the candle of cream. It's true. I love the long one. It looks like a rubbing cream. That's such your point.
Yeah. It's just the same as a white man. You will not see a white man painting himself black.
Yes.
Yes. And this black color is more natural to me.
Yeah.
Because if we follow the words of the Bible, they said man was created from the ground, and eventually we shall return to the ground when we die. That's the natural cycle. So if we're created from the ground, look at the color of the ground.
Yeah, it's dark brown.
Yes. So we actually have the color of nature.
Yeah.
We have the color of nature.
Which is unique.
Which is unique. And therefore, if you look at somebody who is truly African and you polish that color, it is more beautiful than the white color.
Yes.
It's more beautiful than the white color. So we Africans, we Bakosi people, we should try to maintain what God has created
us.
We should maintain it because it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. So we as Bakosi people, we should be proud of being Bakosi.
Yes.
We should learn the language and be proud to speak it wherever. You cannot say you are Bakosi and then When they say you make an expression by Kosi language,
You cannot.
do it. You cannot identify yourself as a true Bakosi child. And it goes the same with the names that we bear. Those names identify us. But most often, the youth, let me just put it that way, they project the foreign names.
Yes, more than their
native
names.
Their native names, which is not true, which is not correct. Somebody would prefer to be called Joseph
Instead of
a Pierre or Ngome or whatever. You project Joseph. What is your name? My name is
Joseph.
Yeah, my name is Joseph. What is your name? My name is Mary. You hide your true identity. You hide your true identity. So, what I can say is that we should try to maintain our own culture. Let us try to uphold what God created us to be.
So I've come to realize that talking about names, I discovered that some tribes don't even give their children English names. They just give all the three names, country native names.
Yes.
So they don't give their children English names anymore.
What they have done is correct.
It's correct.
Because those names, when you hear English names, we are not English people.
Yeah.
And the missionaries who brought Christianity to us, they try to downplay our own culture by saying that, okay, if you are to be baptized, you have to be given a foreign name, which is not true. Yes. So if you are called Ebane, for example, does God not recognize that name? If you are baptized, that Ebane is being baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, will God not take Ebane as a baptized person? Must you have a name of Grace or Patricia
Junior
and Junior? Must you have that? You don't need it. You don't need those names. So those names are imposed on us by Western culture. You cannot hear that with the Japanese. You cannot hear that with the Chinese. They have their names. They have their names.
And they use
Yes, they use their names, and their names are good. So we in Africa, we project foreign names and hide our own names, which is not correct. So I prefer that if we are blessed with children, let us give them our native traditional names, yes, to identify them, and let them use those names.
Yeah. You will know of somebody, you will never know that you know the person's traditional.
Yeah, some people will compound it, even John Joseph. Somebody, you put a long list
Esther Bright.
Yeah, Mary Ann.
Mary Ann.
All those type of things. But even in Bakosi, we have compound names which we can use. Yes, we can have Ngome Pierre. Yes, and so on. We have compound names. Why can't we use them? Instead, we triple. Some people even triple the names. So you hear John Paul, and so on. So, and then that is what they project, which is not good. Yes, we have good names. Diobe. Yes, it's God. It's rooted from God. Diobe. Yes. So we have many of those names.
It's like Diobe.
Yeah.
God gift.
Diobe. That is, I am of God.
Okay.
Yes, I am of God. Somebody who is of God.
Of God.
Yes. That person is of God. Diobe. Like in Nongene, you say you are just watching.
Yes.
You are just watching.
Nongene.
Yes.
I'm watching for nothing.
Yeah, I'm just watching.
I'm just
And
watching.
that name came from a family that always lost their children.
Where?
When a woman gives birth, before long the child is dead. The woman gives birth. So when they give birth again, so okay, let's just be watching. Let's just be watching whether that one too will survive.
I also discovered that when the Douala people speak, I understand a bit.
Yes, we are Sawa, all the coastal tribes.
Yeah.
The Doualas, Bakosi, Bakwiri, Bakundu, all those like that, all the Orokos, and so on. We are all one. So we of the coastal areas, we the Sawas, we ought to identify ourselves as such. To become very significant in this country. In the pre-independence years when the missionaries came, they translated the Bible into 2 indigenous languages this way. The coastal tribes had the Bible translated in Douala. Then the Bamenda area had the Bible translated in Mungaka, which is the Bali language.
Bali.
So, and in schools, they taught these languages. So these languages were used in the church,
And
in the songbooks of the church. They translated the songs in Douala and Mungaka, and they were widely used in the church. When they come, they read English. The Douala language, when they read it, almost everybody understands. Most preachers preached in this way. They preach in Douala. And they had interpreters. So, that virtue, when the white man went, the African clergy decided to bury that virtue. They came back to English. So you go to, for example, in the Presbyterian church today, you don't hear Mungaka. You don't hear Douala. Nothing. That buried those languages, a virtue that the white man came and taught us, that it is good to use
your language to pray, to serve God.
Good. Now, in Bakosi, for example, they have translated the New Testament in Bakosi. Yes. Complete. Now, the Old Testament, they are on now
to translate
the Old Testament in Akose. And they have done so in many other languages. So now when you go to the church, for example, in the Presbyterian church, they read Akose.
Akose language.
Yes. They read when they put the text. Yes. They read in English, they read in Akose, they read in French. So if they could extend that to the hymns,
yeah, it would be nice.
It would be good. That they equally translate the hymns into Akose. Just like all those hymns, most of those hymns in the church hymnary are in Douala, and they call it Mienge Mabuna Christo.
Wow.
Yes, that is how they call the hymn book. Mienge Mabuna Christo. So, that is what we want in our Bakosi land, if we can promote our culture. We uphold the virtues that God created us with. It's very, very important.
So, Papa, I discovered that you have been watching my videos. What can you say?
No, beautiful. In fact, the last one I watched when you were making plantain fufu, I was gulping, hoping that I had a dish of it in front of me. So it's wonderful. Yes, I want you to continue like that.
Thank you.
Yes, people are learning a lot from what you are